In watchmaking, you often go down rabbit holes where one thing leads to another. In my case, I purchased my first pocket watch for repair, this capital model by the German watchmaking company Buren. The watch is in pretty good shape, but isn't running, and I think I figured out what's wrong, which I'll bring to the channel in a future video. While poking around, I saw that it was missing a screw. That's where I started falling down the rabbit hole. Since starting this hobby, I've made friends with other watch enthusiasts who have shared their insight on watchmaking lathes. And now I'm completely psyched to learn how to use a lathe to make my own parts, like my missing screw. In my prior video, I did an unboxing of my new Elson branded watchmaking lathe. What could be in here? Oh, this is a healthy piece of metal. I couldn't find out much about the Elson company, and the accessories that came with it seemed to be a mismatch of parts that I don't fully understand. But one thing that I'm sure is that the motor wiring was in bad shape and posed a significant safety risk. So, the first thing I did was pull it apart, give it a cleaning, and replace all of the wiring that was practical to replace. As it sits now, it's been rewired, and all we need to do is fill the oil cups, install the brushes, and attach the AC power cord, and we can see if this motor spins up, runs smoothly, and does anything shocking, which I mean in the most literal sense. If you'd like to see the full rebuild of this motor, I'll be posting it on my Auto, Home, and Technology YouTube channel, which is called Mike Fixed It. As soon as the full video is live, I will put a link in the description below. For now, let's get this motor together and see if and how it runs. All right, before we dive in too deep, here is the bottom, and what I'm going to do is reuse this existing power cord. So I'll need to feed it through, put a knot in it as strain relief, and then we'll just hook it up here with some wire nuts. I don't know if this cord will remain on this lathe motor. It was soldered on. By having it attached with wire nuts, it gives me some options as far as if I want to replace this. So one of the fun things in diagnosing the wiring is that this switch, which I thought was an on-off switch, is actually a direction switch. It just takes the power and reverses everything, which reverses the motor direction. First thing I want to do is fill these oil cups. Inside the cup there is a wick, and the oil soaks through the wick and then provides oil to the motor shaft. Let's get these loaded up. So we're just going to put these in until they're flush. So here's the brushes. It looks like there's still some life left in the brushes, so we're going to reuse them. So the brushes slide in these little holes, and then they're held in place with these threaded caps. We've got the chrome cap, home stretch, power cord. And so we're going to put our little granny knot back into the cord, and this is just going to act as a little bit of tension relief. I auditioned some wire nuts for the job. Where are they? I lost my nuts. Found my nuts. I'm going to try the smaller ones first. Yeah, that feels like it's biting pretty well. There we go. Tug test. Let's see if we can dress these a little bit more neatly. For the record, I plan to circle back and address these exposed contacts. Gosh, I think this thing is ready for testing. So I have an inline switch. Should we do a countdown? 3, 2, 1. Yes! Wow! Smell the ozone. Let's do it again. Uh-oh. What just happened? It's not going back on. Was that the final flight? What happened? Let's see, is it a brush issue? Sometimes if you massage it. Okay, try again. Yep, okay. So the brushes are somewhat directional after they've run for a while, and sometimes if they're turned sideways, it won't make contact with the armature. Let's see if it starts. There it goes. Okay, let's try reversing it right now. So if you're looking down the shaft, it is turning counterclockwise. Let's try the switch. Does it work? It does. Excellent. So with that, I was being a little superstitious. I didn't want to put the nameplate back on it until I knew that it was running. So I think we have passed that test. Boy, if there was ever a time that you might catapult a screw, it's right now. This is like a spring-loaded diving board. Yes, there we go. Now that the nameplate is back on, you can see it simply says Elson lathe motor, model, I always thought that was a model 7, maybe it's a model 1. Volts 110 to 125. AC and DC. If this is AC and DC, that means it's what's called a universal motor. I have no idea what the current is. The lathe says made in USA. That's really about all I know, that and the brand. Well, that was fun. Now it's time for me to get this motor mounted up on the lathe for which it was intended. So I'm cleaning that up. We'll get that all back together, and hopefully we'll be able to start making little metal chips and curls and get to the point where we can comfortably make our own parts for our watchmaking hobby. If you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and check back often for follow-up projects that we hope to be doing with our new watchmaking lathe. I'm Mike, the channel is Watch with Mike, and I look forward to our next time together.